All right, well, let's get started. Let's go with Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, what's up, Tyrann?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, a lot of these college guys now are going to miss their season before they head into the draft and try and make the NFL. I know it was different circumstances, but you missed your last season before preparing for the NFL draft. What sort of challenges did that entail, and what sort of advice, I guess, would you have for the guys that are going to be facing kind of a similar situation now?
Yeah, I think everybody's situation is going to be a little different. Obviously, you have to be in the right kind of attitude. Got to have the right kind of people around you to really make any kind of sound decision at 19, 20, 21 years old. So I'm hoping that those guys have people in their corner that can really guide them and give them the right kind of advice, whether it be, simply, telling those guys the truth. I feel like some guys have enough tape to where, they don't have to play another season, whereas other guys, kind of need the tape to, get looked at or, even get mentioned, in the next draft class. So, it's unfortunate circumstances. So just hoping that those guys have the right kind of people in their corner so that they'll be able to make the right decision.
Let's go to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Tyrann. Thanks for the time. I wanted to ask you two things. One is just it looked like there was good energy out at practice today. I was just wondering your perspective on that. And also, I mean, in normal times, you guys would be playing games right now, right? Like, is there a way that you can compare where you guys are now compared to, just a year ago or in a normal year?
Yeah, I mean, well, to talk about the energy level, I think that's just the standard, we've tried to set here. Obviously everybody talks about the offense and, what those guys can do. I think defensively, we're just trying to live up to the standard, that we set, last season, and that's showing up, getting to the ball, making plays on the ball, and then kind of uplifting, bringing everybody along with us. I probably say it's probably going to be a little bit tougher for the defenses. We didn't have a spring. And I think defense is a little bit different. You got to kind of get in front of the offense and, you got to kind of have to see the speed. You have to see motions. You have to understand adjustments. Whereas offensive guys can get on routes. They can run routes on air. They can work on their timing. But for us, we got some great coaches. We got great leadership on defense. And, once again, we're highly motivated to pick up where we left off last season, as a defense.
Thank you.
Let's go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyrann, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. Hey, a couple things. First, is there something you've learned about Travis Kelce that maybe you didn't know from being a teammate of his for a year? And also, first with Mahomes, then Chris Jones, now Travis. Obviously the Chiefs are stepping up financially here, but what can you put your finger on? Why guys want to stay here? What is it about what you guys have going on, other than the rings you guys are going to be wearing here in a few weeks, that makes what guys want to be here?
Yeah, I think Travis is a special talent. He reminds me a lot of Larry Fitzgerald. The competition that he provided for me coming into the league and, me coming to Kansas City, I think Travis gives me the same kind of competition day in and day out. Truly makes me hone in on my craft, makes me focus on the little things. And I think that's the only way you can kind of compete against guys with that kind of, elite ability. I think we're absolutely lucky, very fortunate. We got a lot of selfless guys on this team, a lot of guys that don't necessarily look in their own mirror. It's all about the guys around them, and I think that starts with, great leadership, obviously from Clark Hunt to Coach Reed and, then, your superstar players, Pat Mahomes and Kelce's of the world. Everybody is trying to make everybody better. And so, I'll probably say this is a very lucky situation, a very fortunate situation we're in, and I think everybody here is just grateful to really be a part of it.
Let's go to James Palmer. Go ahead, James.
Hey, Tyrann, hope you're good, man.
Hey.
You spend a lot of time studying, tape, and I'm curious what you think about the tight end position with, Travis getting paid, Kittle getting paid, how different the athlete is or how it's used now to when you came into the league. And then you still look at their paydays. Are they, for some reason, still undervalued, as difficult as they are, to what they do for offenses?
I think any team that has a great tight end, especially an athletic one, an elite one, it always provides the offense with an advantage. You think about Travis Kelce and the George Kittles of the world. Every time they line up, you can possibly have a mismatch. And so, I think the teams that have those guys, they appreciate those guys. And, the teams that don't have them, they're trying to find other ways to make up for it. But it's not often you get guys like Kittle, guys like Kelsey that can really change the game from the tight end position. Obviously, you think about the Shannon Sharps and the Tony Gonzalez's, but those guys don't come around too often. So I'm excited for those guys. Obviously, it's going to take guys like George Kittle, Travis Kelce to continue to set the standard. So, that position is respected and that position is considered, a valuable position on the offensive side of the ball.
Let's go to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, yes.
Appreciate the time. I'm just wondering from a physical standpoint with the ramp-up period, where do you compare today's full padded practices to other you've had throughout training camp?
Nobody works as hard as the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll tell you that right now. I say that in a good way. We strain a lot. It's a lot that's on our plate. A lot of our playbook is already in. A lot of those calls are up. So, not only do we have to strain physically, but it's a mental strain. It's a mental grind. And that's what I try to tell the rookies, to obviously not overwhelm themselves. Just try to find a way to fall in love with the grind, fall in love with the process. I think our coaches do a great job of not putting too much pressure on us, allowing us to go out there, with less on our mental, so that way we are able to physically strain ourselves each and every play. But it's my third organization. I don't think anybody works as hard as Andy Reid.
Let's go to Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Tyrann.
Hey.
Just wonder if you could describe what your relationship with Steve Spagnuolo has meant to you, and just sort of related to that too. I think we talked one time last year, and I think you used words along the lines of that you think leadership might almost be more important than actually what you do in terms of playing. I just wonder how you've come to that way of thinking.
Yeah, well, I think, obviously, and, not just Coach Spags, I think Coach Merritt, provides a great sense of leadership for us as well, especially our DB room. We're so young back there, and, I think him just keeping us in the right mental, understanding who we are each and every day, setting this table for us. And then Spags, I'm so grateful for him because he pushes every player to the limit, not just myself, not just Chris Jones. It's each and every player that he's trying to get the most out of. And not every coach does that. Not every coach cares that much. And so for us, we understand that we have a guy in our corner that not only is he a great football coach, he understands his players and he understands X's and O's, but, he understands what buttons to push. And, we got a lot of different guys in our room, from Breland to Tyrann Mathieu, and all of us are different, but I think he understands how to reach each and every one of us. And to me, that's way more powerful than a coach teaching you how to play cover two. I think not everybody can teach and reach. So I think he has that in his favor.
All right, guys, we got time for a couple more. We're going to go Pete Sweeney and then Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Tyrann, thanks for taking some time. I was just curious. I saw an exchange between you and Charvarius Ward on social the other day, and it had to do with the Chiefs receivers and just how talented they are, especially with no preseason. What kind of advantage is it for y'all that you have to go against Tyreek and Travis and Sammy and really one of the best units in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's stressful, but, it's our job. I think the competition level is very high. Obviously, we always talk about the standard that we tried to set last season. I think playing against our offense, it only builds us up. It only, gets us to, elevate our standard. Not everybody in the NFL can cover Tyreek Hill. Not everybody can run with Nicole. Not everybody understands Travis Kelce's route concepts and, even Patrick Mahomes. So I think each and every one of us on the defense is getting tested. We're getting challenged. And what other way to prepare for Deshaun Watson than to, and Lamar Jacksons of the world than to Kansas City Chiefs offense. So, I mean, we feel like we're in a very fortunate position. We feel like, obviously the favor is on our side. We just got to be conscious of getting better each and every day. And then understanding, we're competing against our offense. We're not playing against them.
Let's go to Nate Taylor to close it out. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Tyrann. I have two questions for you. You've gotten to know Tedrick Thompson in person a little bit here since he came aboard. Just from watching film of him with the Seahawks and what he can provide with you guys in the immediate, just what are your thoughts on him and being a part of him in the secondary? And my second question is, with the way you understood how camp went last year and sort of the mental back and forth between you being the leader of the secondary and Patrick being the leader of the offense in the backfield, just how much do you think the intensity level and sort of the mental game can both of you all elevate from one another based on what you guys know about your guys' skill set and what you're trying to accomplish on both sides of the football?
Yeah, I think Tedrick, well, we call him T2 here, so we give everybody nicknames. But he's a smart player. He's a player that can play both of the safety positions. He understands communication is key from the safety position. And then he can make plays on the ball. He's been showing us his athleticism. It's probably his first time in the Andy Reid type camp. So he's understanding that part of it. Can you repeat that second part of the question, please?
Yeah, just the idea of how does Patrick sort of mentally challenge you, and what's it like to be the leader of the secondary and understanding you guys are obviously preparing one another for the season, but what the mental challenge is on the field given what each guy can do?
Yeah, each and every play we're trying to, stress each other out. We're trying to bring the best out of each other. Obviously, we understand that, there's only so much we can do against Patrick Mahomes until we have to get depth, and not let the ball get thrown over our heads. So, and we're trying our best to show him different looks. We're bringing the house at him. We're trying to press on the outside. We're trying to play man-to-man. So I think overall we're just trying to work on things that we know in the back of our mind is going to get all of us better all the way around. So I think Patrick, sets a great standard. We understand as a defense who we're up against, and obviously the weapons that they have on the outside presents a tremendous challenge. But I feel like those guys are constantly getting us better, constantly getting us sharper as well. It's a lot of things that I can do on the defensive side that I can't do with Patrick Mahomes. And so I think just having that kind of understanding, I think it helps me play faster. It helps all of us play faster as a defense.
Tyrann, we appreciate your time today, man. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right, guys, hang tight.